Welcome back. We have Sean, as always, and we have for the second time Joe Madden from Joe Madden Sports joining us. Apparently, we didn't scare her off the first time. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for not scaring me off.
All right. Well, sometimes we have, mostly with our picks. That's the problem. I wanted to follow up with you from the last time you were here. You said Mama's Boy. You didn't like Mama's Boy. Have you changed your tune a little bit based upon his first game out there for the Jets?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm liking him right now. So we'll see. We'll see how if he goes with the season going on.
Well, he got off to a good start. I saw a lot of good reviews from him from fellow pros saying they think he's got some skills. So we'll find out if that can last into the regular season or if that offensive line will have him seeing ghosts for sure. Today's an interesting day. I had I was doing a little bit of backyard work today. And when I was a kid growing up, I wanted to be a fighter pilot, but didn't have 20/20 vision. And they have the Air and Water Show coming into Chicago tomorrow. And today, the Blue Angels were literally about 1,000 feet right above me about 10, 15 times today, doing all their tricks and stuff. So I'm kind of excited. I'm ready to go all Hulk Hogan today because let me tell you, brother, it doesn't get any better than that. For sure. So as far as football, looking at this weekend, Joe, do you have anything picked out from the preseason schedule? I'm not a big fan of preseason football. Our man Sean loves it. He wants to bet the unders, but doesn't, and only picks the ones that go over. What about you?
I like it. Well, I was looking at the couple of games that we have tonight. You know, we have KC facing the Cardinals tonight. Now, this should be an interesting matchup. I'm looking for KC to play most of their starters for that first half of this game. So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. When we look at Andy Reid in preseason, his record is 40, 41-4 against the spread. Cliff Kingsborough is 2-3 against the spread. I really think Andy Reid comes out to win this one tonight. So I'm definitely laying money on the Chiefs at -3.5. This line has moved up. They opened at -1.5. So 3.5, it's a little bit much, but you give me those starters out for the first half, and I'm loving the over more than anything.
What'd you think about playing the first half instead of the entire game?
Yeah, I would definitely look at playing that first half and then looking at laying that over 41.
I find it hard to – I know he's saying that. I find it hard to believe he's going to actually play Mahomes more than a quarter, though. Some of these coaches, they've been saying certain things, and then it doesn't even happen anyway.
Well, exactly, and that is the horror of betting preseason. You have to go off what they say, which could also be a mind game with the other team that they're coming out to do this. But I would definitely be looking at even first half for KC to win that first half.
Yeah, I would think KC would win the first half. One of the things I do, I have my own power ranking system and an algorithm to figure out what the line should be, at least according to me, not according to Vegas. But I think in the regular season in this spot, Kansas City, and we talked about this the other night, Sean, with the New England team, the line was off because it's preseason. But I think in a regular season game, Kansas City would probably be a 5.5 to 6, maybe 7-point favorite in this spot. So at 3.5, if they play their starters for the first half, that would work out to about 3.5. So I don't know what the first half line is, but I would be inclined if I were going to do anything to take the Chiefs in the first half because the line is a little mispriced.
Yeah, absolutely. And then looking at that first half over as well. I'm not sure what that number is. I'm not sure if it's 20, but it should be right in around there. And I'd be looking at jumping on that because that's when you're going to get the most production out of KC.
Mm-hmm. Sean, do you see those numbers anywhere?
Yeah, I'll get them. I really like Washington tonight, too. I mean, I know they're giving up 5, but
5.5. That number's going up.
Yeah, Bengals aren't playing Burrow. Washington's got Fitzpatrick. Then they got Taylor Heineke. And then Steven Montez, the third stringer, is really good, too. So I think they put up points and they cover that.
Absolutely, but I'm not looking for the Bengals to put up many points. And I'm also looking for a thunderstorm to roll in. So I'd be counting on that under 35 as well.
Yeah. Run.
Yeah.
So first half, we got Kansas City -4 and over 21.5.
So the line for the first half is bigger than for the entire game. That's interesting. Yeah, I would think if Kansas City plays, but 4 is probably about the maximum I'd be willing to go for the first half in that. In Washington game, I look at it a little bit different. I think that they're a little bit overpriced right now at 5.5, Sean, even though they do apparently have the quarterback matchup. But in the regular season, they would probably be about a 3.5 point favorite in this spot instead of 5.5. So that's way too much for me. I don't think they have a great defense for sure. I don't know how much you're going to see of that great defense today. I'm not a big fan of preseason football because once they get past halftime, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, and you do have the line moving up from 3 for Washington up to 5.5.
I think the one thing that they might win, Drew, the Falcons, is the first pick this year. They might be in line for that.
Ooh, no, that's going to go the Texans or the Lions.
Yeah, they could go to the Texans or the Lions.
I've got actually a future on the Texans at plus 2,800 to be the worst team in the league.
I think you got a really good shot at that. I haven't tied with 3 teams, so it'll come down to a tiebreaker, I think, for you. And if they trade Deshaun Watson, then they'll for sure be the worst team in the league. In the weekend, do you see any? One game stands out to me, but it stands out so much to me on the Saturday games that it almost makes me think they're trying to square sucker me bet into something. Which game do you think it might be, Sean?
Are you trying to take Green Bay over my Jets here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not going to see any of Rodgers or anything like that. And Jordan Love, I don't even know his status. I know he got banged up a little bit. I think he's okay. But they'll probably not risk him too much neither. So that would be one. You're probably looking at the under, but that under is really low too. That's 31.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. In the regular season, Green Bay would probably be 8 to 10 point favorite against the Jets at home. That just seems to me that, like I said, that line is so goofed up to me that it makes me wonder what is going on. It's like the local high school Green Bay team. Did they win one of those Make-A-Wish contests and they get to go out and play against an NFL team? I don't know. But to me, that's the one line I circled from the weekend. And I said to myself, if I'm going to play a game, it's going to be Green Bay against the Jets, because I think the third team from the Green Bay Packer team would probably beat the first team from the Jets. Right, Sean?
No. You won't get me to say that.
Anything else stand out on the weekend?
I would start looking at more of the unders. The starters should play more, but even that's not happening. These coaches like these joint practices, like we talked about yesterday, and they're not really valuing these games, so there isn't many points scored.
Mm-hmm. Another line that kind of stands out to me is Denver in Seattle as the favorite, but I don't get that either. But obviously, Seattle.
I think Seattle looked absolutely terrible the last time we saw them come out.
Mm-hmm.
So they lost 20-7 to the Raiders. Like, they couldn't get anything done. They're not going to play Wilson.
No, of course not.
No.
Well, and that's the Raiders are giving up 6.5 too, but John Gruden wins all the time in preseason. So
he does. He loves to win.
Yeah. There's certain coaches that want to win and certain coaches that don't care about the preseason, and that's just what you got to look at.
Oh, absolutely. Another team that I would look at fading would be the Vikings. I think they looked awful in their first game. I think they're going to look awful in the second. They're coming in as a favorite against the Colts only by 1, but I think the Colts get the upset win in this case as well.
Yeah, I think losing that offensive line coach is going to be a big deal for the Minnesota Vikings because he didn't want to get the COVID shot. So I wonder how much of that we're going to see play out in 2021 with players. I know there are high vaccination rates in the league, they say, but I'm curious to how many players throughout the course of the year, vaccinated and unvaccinated, because everybody seems to be getting the Delta. I wonder really how that's going to play out to the season and what impact it's going to have relative to the rules on the vaccinated and unvaccinated players. I think that could be a big wild card this year, unlike last year.
Absolutely, it will. I want to know your guys' thoughts on the Cowboys and Texans this weekend. Can the Cowboys, after looking awful, pull out a win against the Texans team that I have absolutely no faith in?
2 letters, probably NO.
Okay, because the books are giving them, they are the favorite by 4 points, which is unbelievable for the Cowboys, right?
I would circle that under 36.5 again.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dak's probably not going to play, and then they say he should be ready by the end of the preseason with his shoulder. I'm doubtful that that's going to be the case. I do think they're going to the backup quarterback. Gilbert hasn't looked all that bad. I think he's a capable backup. At some point, they're going to have to break out the regular offensive line, get it going, get the run game going, because that's going to be their path to winning. Mm-hmm. And maybe they can get it done. I don't know. Their defense was terrible last year, although Micah Parsons looks like he's the real deal, and has, I think, a chance to be the defensive rookie of the year, maybe runaway defensive rookie of the year, maybe even all-pro in his first season. I don't know what the kind of lines you're going to get on that, but if there were a bet for the Cowboys, that would be the one I would probably take. Micah Parsons making the Pro Bowl. Sean, can you find that one?
I'm probably not going to find that one.
No, most people thought he might have been the best player in the draft. So he's certainly playing like it in the preseason, and they definitely is right. Okay, so Drew wants to know week 1, Joe, who are you targeting week 1 that your circle absolute lock going to start the season 1-0 against the spread?
Oh, you know what? I don't have all of my notes for that in front of me. One thing I know is my Chargers play Washington week 1. And if the Chargers can come out and win, look out for them, because that is definitely going to be, it's going to be their biggest test. If they can get past that defense and Herbie can do something. I wish I had week 1's schedule in front of me. I just don't, you guys, for my notes here. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be great. Who's playing? Tell me who's playing, and I'll give you.
Well, I think they opens up Cowboys and Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, and that's a spread. It's a touchdown in favor of Tampa.
Let me open it here. I'll open it on my phone.
I think that when you look at that game, one thing that Tampa's defense is incredible at doing is what? Stopping the run, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the Cowboys' path to victory is, stopping the run. I mean, being able to run the ball. So I think that that's a game that favors Tampa Bay, even though the defending champion sometimes starts off a little bit slow the next season.
I'll tell you what, that the over-under is 51 on that. That seems way too high for the first game.
Wow. Do you guys have the line on the 49ers and Lions game?
Yeah.
I'll definitely be backing the 49ers in that one.
Touchdown in favor of the 49ers.
Yeah, they'll easily get a touchdown.
Against the Detroit?
Detroit Lions with Jared Goff.
Yeah, they know him better than most teams would, right? So it's not like they're facing up against a quarterback they haven't seen before. I'm absolutely looking forward to the NFL season. I think it's going to be a great year. Sean and I are going to hit a lot of home runs. I know, Joe, you're going to hit a lot of home runs in football too. What's your favorite bet? Do you like to play the spread? Do you like to play the total? Where do you think your strong suit is?
You know what? I love to play both, and I love to play both on a Monday and Thursday night. Those primetime games where there's so much money on one side of it. I love fading the public. It really works well for me. I love looking at situational as well. So I'm big on all of it. Definitely the spread is what I look at before I go for the totals.
Yeah, I find that I do much better against the spread than I do with the totals. The totals can be a little bit more unpredictable, but I find that the picking is 80% of the time, if you pick the winner, you've covered the spread. I think that's how the math works out. And if you can pick the team that's going to turn the ball over more, then you probably got the winner there too.
Yeah, I also like to look at complete line movement with those totals as well, because a lot of the times the public is wrong and the money coming in on it is wrong, and you can get both sides of that total if you bet it early enough.
So you like to bet early in the week and then see if you can get a line movement and go the other way and collect both sides?
Yeah, it's fun to do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's tough to do, but usually if you can get a nice spread like that, a big movement in points, that's definitely what line shopping will do, and what our friend Bill Krakenberger told us he likes to do as well. He likes to identify lines, and then he's pretty good, he says, at identifying which ones will move and then coming back and betting them on the other side later on in the week.
Yeah, he's absolutely outstanding in all of that.
Mm-hmm. So you want to talk a little bit of baseball today?
We can talk a little bit of baseball. My brain's kind of just totally moved on to football, but let's talk some baseball. What are you guys liking today?
I know that you said you did the Kobe, that you crumbled up the baseball season and threw it away. And
I am, especially with my Blue Jays down so far. Like, they're not pulling anything out. I'm looking to fade them even tonight.
Are you how do you become a Blue Jays fan and a Chargers fan? I'm curious.
Okay, well, I'm up here in Canada, so it's our only baseball team. Some people say it's because I like the color blue. It's not true. Don't listen to those people.
There's nothing wrong with the color blue, but if you're Canadian,
but
you
it
like
is my favorite color. It's just coincidence.
Have they been in Canada yet this year, though, or they played down here?
They came
finally
back
moved home.
Canada. July 31st. The first with KC was their first game.
All right, Sean. Let's just you want to break down the games real quick? Minnesota and the New York Yankees. Anything for you there?
No, the Yankees are going to win, but I'm not giving up a run and a half with it in this game.
Well, I'm not giving up a run and a half. Minus 240, 225, way too big for me. Minus negative run line. I don't like negative run lines, so I have to avoid that game. Do you like negative run lines, Joe?
No, I play them in certain spots, but in this one, I'm not touching it tonight. The Yankees and I do not have a good relationship whenever I bet for them, so they end up losing. So if anyone wants me to bet for them so that they can win on the Twins, I'll gladly do it. Just let me know. But I'm not touching the total either. 10.5. The Yankees have averaged 7.33 runs per game in the last 3 against the Twins. But looking at this, I don't think the Twins will make up the difference even. So, right, I don't have the faith.
Yeah, I don't have the faith in either squad, on Minnesota either. And I can't. None of the lines attract me, and I hate baseball totals because whatever side I'm on, it just teases me. Like if I go over, they'll have the bases loaded, no outs, 1 hit, and it's a tie, or I'll go ahead and they strike out and leave the bases loaded with 3 outs and no runs. Atlanta and Baltimore, I mean, this one should be a blowout too. Minus 270. This is the problem with late season baseball is you have the big separation between the two teams. There's absolutely no value. Vegas is making you pay through the nose for Atlanta. I don't want to pay that bill.
No, this is one of those. You're just going to have to stack a few teams together for a parlay if you want any action on this.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Like taking the 1.5 is scary, but Atlanta is on a roll, 6-0. Orioles are exact opposite. They're at 14 straight losses.
Yeah, and I think they have one of the worst run line differentials in baseball, and that's the number one predictor of who's going to win and lose. Detroit and Toronto. Your guy Robbie Ray probably gets the job done tonight. It's a little bit of a heavy line, minus 265-ish, 280-ish, and probably a negative run line too. This is one Sean loves. I got a feeling Sean's about to jump in on the run line here.
No, it's minus 145. I do have negative run lines tonight, but not this one.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course I do. Minus 145 is just way too steep for it.
Way too heavy of a price for you. Okay, Miami. I told you yesterday, Sean, put Cincinnati in your parlay and take Milwaukee out.
Yeah, I should have listened. For once, I should have listened to Rich.
No, always listen to Rich.
Yeah, out of the only underdog to win, it had to be the Cardinals. But yeah,
anything in this game?
No, I'm not touching this one either.
Joe?
I think Miami's going to pull off an upset tonight.
Ooh, then I'm in a bad spot because I think the Reds are actually going to win this game by more than 1.5 runs. Okay. And I know I almost swore off the run lines the other day because they've been killing me. I think I'm 0-4. I haven't picked the loser. I just haven't picked the team that won by 2 runs. The team I picked won every single time. I'm getting plus 115, Sean, on this particular game. Mr. Hernandez is a much different pitcher for Miami on the road. He's actually pitching way above his career number so far. I'm expecting that what's his name? Tuki Toussaint regression here. Sonny Gray has had a rough year for sure, but he's pitched very well against Miami in the past. Cincinnati is one of the best teams in the baseball arena at home in terms of runs scored. Miami struggles on the road. Cincinnati beats teams under 500, 38-24. Miami struggles. They're one of the worst teams in baseball against teams with a 500 or plus record. Cincinnati gets the job done. They score more than 1.5 runs, and I'm doing it for plus 125, Sean.
Plus 125?
115. Okay. I'm putting 25 on it. Yes.
I was going to say you're back to your 25. Okay.
Yes, because I'm not over my 10%. That's one. I got one more for me tonight. Los Angeles Angels, Cleveland. Any takers? No takers, me either. Well, yeah, you can get some value, I think, with the LA Angels. They have the better run differential on the road than Cleveland does at home. Texas and Boston. Here's another game. Chris Sale coming back. I think it's his second start, right? And this is a huge, again, negative numbers, negative 300, negative probably 200 on the run line, Sean. Is this one of your negative run lines? It's probably
no, it's too steep again. I guess the question tonight is, people are going to parlay all these heavy favorites together, and which one crashes and burns all the parlays? Because there's always that one that does.
There's always a Cardinals Milwaukee in there. All right, White Sox in Tampa Bay. Any value in the home team with a plus line with Michael Wacha?
There is, but there isn't. I can't go against Giolito here. No taker here neither.
Well, Drew is on the. I meant to mention Drew is on the Braves at -1.5 and the Red Sox at -1.5. I think both of those. I don't know what happens if you throw them together in a parlay, but I think both of those are probably pretty safe. I think there is some value in Tampa Bay because the White Sox are one of the worst good teams against. They're probably the worst good team, especially against other good teams. But Mike Wacha is one guy that the White Sox have lit up, so I have to stay away from that.
Yeah, I think this game comes down to those two pitchers, right? I think both of the offenses are so similar that this is going to be a pitcher matchup totally tonight.
Patrick Corbin, Mr. Anderson from Milwaukee. Sean, are you going to go back again?
No, I am passing. I found other ones. I'll leave Milwaukee win a couple.
All right, and then anything for you in this game, Joe?
No, nothing at all in this one.
Yeah, me either. Seattle and Houston. Anything there, Sean? Not one of your lines here either?
No, not one of my lines here neither. Even though you get a plus line with Houston, so you could do it. But we've talked about they played down to their competition a little bit, and Seattle's good as an underdog. So,
yeah.
Joe?
And I like Houston too, but what is it? -195?
It's down to 175. The line's kind of moving their way a little
still too high for me. I don't want to touch it if it's over -140. So, otherwise, I don't want to take him on the run line.
I'm going to take him on the run line. I'm going to go do it again. And I'm getting a plus line. And I know I said I wasn't going to do this anymore, but I'm getting on Houston as high as +112. That's pretty amazing. I'll take that number. Okay. Looking at the Houston squad, they kind of beat up on left-handed pitching, and they've beat up on Kikuchi pretty well in the years past. And McCullers has pitched exceptionally well. Not recently against Seattle, but career-wise, he's pitched phenomenally well against them. Houston is the best team at home in all of baseball, so I feel like that this is a game that Houston probably can get at least 2 runs, maybe 3 runs ahead of Seattle and win the game. So those are my 2 bets for tonight. Run line in, and I said I wouldn't do it anymore. Kind of like a person who drinks on Friday, wakes up on Saturday, promises Saturday morning, won't drink again, and he's out again Saturday night. Houston on the run line and Cincinnati on the run line. All right, Sean, you haven't made any plays, so that leaves Pittsburgh and St. Louis. You got to be in one of these games coming.
No, I'm not in Pittsburgh and St. Louis. It's gonna be the late games here.
And then
Drew, what one are you on?
Pittsburgh, St. Louis.
Yeah.
No, nothing there either. Okay, Sean's definitely going to take Colorado.
Yeah, I'm taking Colorado, giving up a run and a half. We're at -105. I mean, close enough to even money for me here.
It's not even money, Sean. I don't know where they teach you in Pennsylvania math.
Close enough.
That is not even money.
I'll give up the few pennies for it. It's close enough. If it's a winning bet, it's a winning bet with that value. Colorado at home. Arizona beat up on the Phillies. They'll get taste of reality here.
The pitcher scares Drew, and he's going to the game. So Gilbert, he says, do you agree with Sean? Colorado's going to win this game, Joe?
Yeah, I think Colorado should win it. Do I want to take them on the run line? No.
No, I wouldn't take them either. He's going to take them on the money line, though. Are you, Sean, or are you going to run line them?
No, I'm run lining. The money line is -195. I can't do that.
-108. Yeah, me either. So Sean's on Colorado. The run line at plus, you get -105. Looks like the best I can do for you going shopping across the Vegas Strip. San Francisco versus Oakland. Oakland dominates left-handed pitching. You're going to get -155. You can come close to your -140. Joe?
What is the total on this game? I'd be more interested in the total.
9.
9?
Yeah.
I'd like the over in this one. I think Friday night game, I like the overs, especially San Francisco.
So Joe likes the over 9. Sean, is this another one of yours?
No, I couldn't decide a bet here. The over and under I couldn't even do. We talk about Oakland all the time with the lineups full of 230 and 240 batters, and somehow they win. I'm passing on it.
2 more games. The Mets against the Dodgers. Yesterday, I think my second in-game parlay, and I did the game last night, and I hit it. So I was pretty happy about that. And one of the things I was thinking about, and I couldn't believe I didn't think about it beforehand, but if you're going to do one of these in-game parlays, I think you should take the leadoff hitter to get a hit because it's going to get the most opportunities to get a hit, especially if you have a leadoff hitter who has a history of getting at least a few, like he gets one hit a game and you see a good streak and maybe he's not had a hit in a game or 2 and he's due. So I did that yesterday and ended up hitting. I turned I plus 1,100. So I was pretty psyched about that. It was supposed to be free, but DraftKings pulled the free bet for me. So I said, oh, screw it. I did it anyway and did it, and it worked out.
Yeah, that's why I did Jonathan India twice this year on plus 1.5 total bases because the Reds with their offense, and sometimes he gets 5-6 at bats. So it's always good. And he walks and everything else. So 2 bases is not hard for him to get. So that's a guy I've targeted throughout the year. And this is one here, Walker Buehler, and the Mets, the way they're struggling, I'm giving up the 1.5, and I have minus 125.
Well, you can get minus 123. That's way too much for me. So, I mean, that's almost to Joe's won't do on a run line. I'm on a money line.
It's just how it's stacked up today. I mean, Mets haven't been scoring against okay pitchers. They're not going to score more than a run or two versus Buehler, and the Dodgers should score against Carrasco here.
Are there any circumstances, Joe, where you would take minus 130 run line?
Yeah. I'd take minus 130 run line because it's still under that minus 140. But in this case, we're looking at 2% of the wagers only on the Mets at that plus 1.5. I would be really tempted to throw some money on the plus 1.5 to fade everyone else.
Well, you can get $1.07 to do that. I don't have any faith in the Mets. Their offense on the road is just brutal. And their offense at home is brutal, but not as bad as it is on the road. And like Sean said, you have Walker Buehler, one of the top pitchers in baseball. Last game on the docket, Sean, Philadelphia versus San Diego, battle of lefties. San Diego's been very disappointing. They finally can announce a pitcher before game time. So you think knowing who the pitcher will be before game time makes a difference in how you're going to bet it.
Yeah, and Blake Snell's been pitching pretty good. Matt Moore had a great start last time. I can't imagine.
Yeah, he left the game with a no-hitter, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine he has another great start here. So I'm going to take San Diego, giving up a 1.5 again because the Phillies are not scoring runs. San Diego's going to get a little bit better here. Tatis has been back for a week now. So I'll take San Diego minus a 1.5, minus 110.
Will you join him, Joe?
Yeah, I'm definitely joining him in that case.
All right, perfect. So that wraps up the baseball. Okay, I'm going to ask you. I doubt that that Sean will be ready for this, but MLS Soccer. Do you have anything tonight on that, Joe?
No, I do not bet soccer ever.
You should look into it because it's actually the only thing that kills you is a stupid soccer tie, as I call them all the time. But you can use some very basic goal differential and some very basic type simulation stuff in Excel, and it's really pretty accurate. And and I think Vegas doesn't put their best people on it because not that many people bet it. And you can get some really nice home teams. So just little bit of math, but the average MLS team wins at about 60% at home.
Okay.
So if you can get a plus line on a team at home, and the average team wins at 60%, and they say 50%, and you get a plus line, it can be very profitable. So I really like betting MLS Soccer. Drew. I'll be doing a little bit in terms of the English Premier League once they get some data in there. Right now, it's too fresh for it to have any value for me whatsoever at all. Tonight, the LA Galaxy are playing at home against the San Jose Earthquakes. It's a negative line. The Galaxy probably wins, but I'm a little bit afraid of the tie. So I won't bet it, but I should have some good stuff on it tomorrow. One final thing, we talked about our golf picks, Sean. All 5 guys look like they made the cut. And right now, only one looks like and Jason Kokrak is only 1 stroke away from actually being in the money in our bet. So if we would hit all of our bets, I think we'd be about plus 1,000. John Rahm, for the 3rd week in a row in our picks, we had the guy who's leading and probably will win the tournament, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's great, guys.
So what's on tap for you, Joe? You're doing some new things, I understand?
Yeah, I've got a lot going on. I'm working now with Wager Talk, so that has been a lot of fun. Lots of stuff on the horizon, lots of projects going on. So I'm loving it all. And with football wrapping up or starting, I don't even know why I said wrapping up. Baseball needs to wrap up.
Preseason's wrapping up.
It feels like it as soon as it starts. It wraps up.
Right. So it's going to be a busy season, but I'm excited for it. I can't wait to talk more football.
Same here. Sean, first of all, Joe, if people want to follow you, it's at Joe Madden Sports on Twitter. Is that the best place for folks to find you?
Absolutely. They can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Joe Madden Sports. I also have another Instagram. My older Instagram account is the Joe Madden. So if you're looking for like 3 years of records and stuff, what I've done in sports betting, definitely check out that Instagram.
And Sean, if folks want to follow along with us, where do they do that?
Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen.
And
the website, moneylinemadmen.com.
Yes, we just started it, so it's still kind of bare. We're going to furnish it soon. I promise everybody. That's much like Joe's new office. We're going to furnish the website before very long. So we'll put some exclusive stuff on there. I think going forward, starting next week, we'll put the golf stuff on there so you can go over, register, and get the golf stuff, and everybody can do what they want with it. Joe, as always, it's a pleasure. We look forward to talking to you maybe intermittently throughout the NFL season. See how Zach, the baby mama's boy, works out as a player this year. I'm looking forward to the NFL season and giving Sean a lot of crap because he's a Jets fan.
Well, the Jets' bad luck already started. Carl Larson, big signing in the offseason, already out for the year. So it always starts. It always starts. There's always something.
Drew says he's going to make a Moneyline Madmen sign for the game tonight. So I'll be looking for that on ESPN for sure. and put add Joe Madden Sports there too for Joe, just in case we get some big exposure. As always, Joe, thanks for joining us. We hope everybody hits nothing but winners. We look forward to talking to you again during the NFL season, and we wish you the best of luck, and may all your picks be winners, Joe.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.